Stocks are empty, buyers panic and build stocks, and climate has caused in some parts of the world a drop of milk production. And the main driver for that was 2 million tons, is our estimate, or 0.3% of world milk production. So such little quantity has caused the tripling of prices. And now the down, it's very simple. Overall, when prices rise, farmers produce more, consumers consume less. Very simple story over the year. One thing what the IFCN is now working on is saying how fast will this world market price change move into the different countries. And if we take the December price as the reference, we collected now the milk prices the farmers get in these different countries. Belarus, India, Brazil, New Zealand, United States, UK. And you see, they are very different. Not everyone is getting the world market price. The poor farmers in Belarus do not get it because the government is controlling things. And the lucky German farmers get even more than the world market price is. That was up, and now we have the down. And our world market price milk indicator, like I have shown here on the up, you see how fast our world market milk price for farmers follow the world market price, and it's the same on the up than on the down. So some people in the last weeks has caused in Germany saying, is there pressure from retailers and push farmers down? No, the commodity prices went down and the local price followed. They follow on the up and they follow on the down. Now we have calculated what does it mean for a typical dairy farm. We took an 80-cow dairy farm in Schleswig-Holstein and we calculated on a monthly basis the costs from January 2006 to June 2008. And the bar is the cost and the graph is the milk price. And what we are able now to do, either in dollar or euros, it doesn't matter, you see that at a certain stage the increase of milk price has by far outperformed the cost increase. So farmers are much better off, especially in October, November, December. And now, if the prices come down here, you see that the margins get much tighter and the economics are much worse. And the key challenge that we are now talking about monthly change of the profit and loss account very quickly. The outlook? Well, what do we expect from the future? Well, it's very difficult, but we think it looks like this. It's a roller coaster, Achterbahn, right? Because this looks quite similar. And everyone in the dairy chain, whether you're a farmer, processor, consumer, you're sitting in this cart. And what I worry, that's not always the case in Germany, we are sitting in this thing, and a lot of us or people don't have their fastened seatbelt on. Because they are not used to that. That was here, that was flat ride, and now we are going like this. Very dangerous. Scenarios for the world market in the future. This is one. Controlled environment. Well, we just have to get the quantity produced right, adjust it to the demand, and whenever the demand reacts, we have to adjust the supply, and then everyone gets 40 euros. Yeah? Technically possible. You just have to coordinate 150 million dairy farmers. No problem, right? So, scenario one. Scenario two is volatility, but at the moment we don't know whether the volatility will be on this level or on this level. Nobody can say. We don't have a lot of data. So this is a scenario. The third scenario looks like this. And this is the most likely one. So, output prices up and down from 15, right, to 55. 3 times up, 3 times down. Why? Very little quantity required, tremendous delay of farmers responding, consumers responding, a time lag in the whole chain. When we talk about a peak cycle, this cycle will be even much longer and much heavier to carry. What does it mean for our farms? Well, we have started to measure risk. This is a distribution curve of an 80-cow farm, of a return of investment. And so far this risk was very narrow. compared to the New Zealand farm, it was a pretty risky business because they had volatile prices in the past. And this is the risk of a California 1100 cow farm, which has high risk because of volatility of milk price and feed price. And one thing that we know for the future is that this, for the German farm, will be much wider, and for the California farm, will be much wider as well. So we cope with tremendous risk in the future. Milk feed price ratio. Well, we calculated the relationship between milk price and the kg of feed, and whenever this is green, right, you could put a lot of grain to your cows, run high yield systems, and whenever you are on red, you have to run systems with low yields and low grain input. So this is a US system, and that is a New Zealand system, who have much lower milk yield, 4,000 liters, these have 10,000 liters. The key challenge now is, if this indicator changed on a monthly basis, what does it mean for a dairy farmer over here and over here? At a certain milk price level, this system goes bankrupt. And this system probably is not using the resources well enough what they can, and vice versa. I would like to end with some key questions. There's a farm focus and saying, how to run a dairy farm financially under this scope of risk. It's new. It's a matter for farms, but also their bankers. And the second thing is, what system do we run? In Schleswig-Holstein, in California, in New Zealand, in Pakistan, they're all affected. Then there's a dairy market focus. Some people ask, we need to organize that market. Well, I think the question is, yes, do we need that, or no, do we don't need that? And if yes, the question is, who shall do that? Shall we give this market in the hands of the policymakers, the farmers, the processors, or is any other able to handle that? And the third question is the consumer focus. The consumer asks himself, can I pay for it, or else shall I go for cheaper food? Producing milk, is that done environmentally in a sustainable way? These are questions that these people ask. Or the last one thing, well, can I drink milk? Is that still good for the planet, or do I have to do something else? Thank you very much for that, and I would like now to hand over to Anders and to the panel.
Thank you, Torsten. I will now let the panel here comment the situation a bit, and then we'll open the floor for comments and questions where we hope you will all contribute and participate. But first, Ed, in a market where the feed prices have been low, energy has been cheap, United States has produced milk with good prices, but what's happening now?
Well, things have changed a bit. Am I coming through? Things have changed a bit, Anders. First of all, I really appreciate having all you come here and visit with us. It's a pleasure to be able to talk with people from other parts of the country, and I'm glad you joined us for this session. I had a handout, but I'm sure there wasn't enough to go around, that summarized the situation in the United States, primarily from the production side. We are facing substantially higher dairy feed prices. To give you an example, comparing September of 2006 rather with April of 2008, we see an increase in corn prices from about $80 per ton up to a little over $200 a ton. In the case of soybeans, the increase has been more dramatic, from about $200 a ton to the current level of $434 a ton. Perhaps more important is what the futures market is projecting for these feed prices over the next 2 or 3 years. Looking at corn, December corn futures on the Chicago Board of Trade, 2008, $243 a ton, 2009, $250 a ton, and 2010, $250 a ton. So corn prices are not expected to drop at all from their current levels. In fact, to go up about another $50 per ton, which is going to put considerable squeeze on our dairy farmers. Hay has not gone up as much. We've seen hay prices that have been fairly